Okay, as I had mentioned to your classmates, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time today. As you look at your front page, we say goodbye to maybe a lot of the boring material which you might have thought was here since the last week of August. And with that, for those who are not here, what are we going to spend time on this? Arthropods. Okay? So, can anyone give an example, other than from before the dinosaurs, of an arthropod? That's from before the dinosaurs. That's from before the dinosaurs. Ants. Ants are insects. Those are arthropods. That was in before the dinosaurs. Just one example? That's all we can think of? I believe that sounds like a flea. That would be an insect, maybe? I'm just guessing. It just sounds like a bed bug, so I thought maybe that's a arthropod. Does it have a shell? Okay. Does it...
It's like the insect, if an armadillo was an insect.
Okay, so yeah, it's an insect then. All right. Crabs are arthropods. They are crustaceans, which are arthropods. Yeah, same thing with king crabs and opilio crabs. Yes, those are crustaceans as well. So as you can see, there is, I don't know how many vocab, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, looks like 22. Okay, so my point is, this is where you're going to start to decide if you're a zoology person or perhaps a human anatomy and physiology person, or maybe both. There are some students who have taken not zoology and A&P at the same time, but have taken all 6 science classes. I see it looks like it's jammed or busted. Okay. So, what happens is I'll tell you when the information becomes relevant, okay? Which means as the animal kingdom had, let's say, moved forward, okay, began with these, which are sponges, okay? Very basic animals, invertebrates, filter feeders, animals like that. Then move on to cnidarians, which means jellyfish, you could say man o' wars, sea anemones, those are cnidarians. Then, let's see here, you could move on to possibly echinoderm, or not, echinoderms came after these guys. Does anyone know who those are? Mollusks.
Yeah, like oysters.
Clams and oysters, yes, are mollusks because they've got and so are snails. Those are mollusks. Then as the evolutionary line advanced, now we hit these guys. Okay? So what this means is how you class... Why not just hand the stapler to them?
That's what I was wondering. It's because they didn't buy it. They don't like the paper on
Yeah.
I don't. No.
Okay. So now whether you write this down, that's entirely up to you, but I would, because you will be responsible for this content. Yes, ma'am.
Bye, Miss Fritz.
I got to see you.
Oh.
Okay, so when we classify these animals, these start with the kingdom, which is Animalia, or animals. Arthropods is a phylum name. And under each one of these is going to be a specific class. Okay? I would recommend that you do. And see, this is my question. Why do some of us hear this and others we're not paying attention, or we don't know, or okay? Okay. So when it comes to this classification system, as you can see, why is it that we might have 3 arachnids here?
There's different like things under them.
Right. You could say different orders, but you're not going to be responsible for the order name of these animals, okay? That's more so of a zoological concept for those of you who decide to possibly take on that class. Now, sometimes what happens is when you see the class name, it's pretty simple to see what type of animal is in the class Insecta. Okay, mosquitoes would be, of course, an insect, but what features do insects have if they don't fly, like ants? How do they get around? Those are insects. How many walking legs do they have?
8, 6.
They've got 6, okay? So what about ticks and mites? They've got 6 walking legs. But those are not insects, okay? Because there's different types of classifications, even though some of them will overlap, okay? So sometimes the order name will give it away. So perhaps Scorpionida, what type of animals would those be? That is an order of arachnids. No.
I know what an arachnid is.
Yeah, there's 3 of them up there.
Yeah. That's an arachnid.
Yeah, but you could say arachnids too, plural for all 3. Yeah? Yeah? So, Scorpionida would be an order name. So what type of animal would that be? Scorpion. Okay? So, we'll start with the animal. Scorpions. Okay? Goes under this one right here. So, for scorpions, are they venomous? Yes. Okay? And what type of diet do you think scorpions might have? If they feed on other scorpions or other arachnids.
Other scorpions.
So what does that mean? That's too specific. Cannibals. Carnivores. That's right. Yep. Cannibals is carnivorous too, but you're just being too specific. Okay. So then, how do they move around? How many though? 6 walking legs. Okay? Okay? And then the last one we'll do, how many segments do you think they have? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
How did you know it was only 2? Just a guess? Yep. So 2 body segments. Okay. So can you give me another example of an arachnid? Spiders, which is the order Arachne, but you don't need to know the order Arachne. So what are some examples of characteristics of spiders now? Okay, they've got, I think I didn't use the number. Okay, 8. Oops. I'm really struggling here, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
8 walking legs, okay?
One body segment.
No, 2 body segments.
I just said you had 2, so. No way, Alex.
Okay, so there are some things that are going to overlap these because they've got the same class name. Okay, so what might differentiate them from the scorpions? Well, here's one. All spiders are venomous.
No. Yes, they are.
All spiders are venomous. Just some of them are just not dangerous to humans. Okay? There's only about 4 or 5 species of spiders that are dangerous to humans. Otherwise, no. Tarantulas are not, unless you're allergic to their venom. But anyway, these also have 2 body segments. Yep. Okay, so these are venomous. So what do spiders feed upon? So they are carnivores.
So what do daddy long legs eat on? Other daddy long legs.
Insects, flies. Okay? So then these are really, really similar, but they separate themselves in their walking legs. Okay? Yes, sir. Okay, just set them down here. Thank you. And this is what we handed out. So I would suggest that you write this down, but I'm not going to walk around to see if you have. Okay? Then I think this will be the last one that we do. So a third type of arachnid, those are vertebrates. Okay, this is what's called the order Acari. Okay, so again, we see some of these characteristics overlap with one another, but they've got 6 walking legs.
Aren't they one segment? They're one. They're one. Because they're one. Actually, they got a head. They have a body.
Okay, then there's one more characteristic, one more important characteristic we want to put down.
They are what?
Well, you have to check your cat and check your dog because they feed upon your dog, which doesn't mean that they can kill your dog if there's enough of them or if there's an infection that they pass on through their mouth parts.
Don't ticks have 2 since what's their head?
You're talking body segments?
Yeah.
No,
Because
it's totally fused together.
Mr. McKinney, what's the best way to kill a tick? How do you destroy ticks that you find?
Plier. Pull them off with a plier and squish them.
I usually light mine on fire.
Okay? But if an organism feeds upon another one without killing them, starts with a P. There we go. These are parasitic feeders. Okay? So, again, I hope you can see and understand that some of these characteristics, they overlap, but because of this one and this one separates it from the other two.
And they're not venomous.
Well, you could say that because that's a presumption that you'd have because they're parasitic. Okay, so that's what we're going to start talking about next week, but you are responsible for this. Again, this will perhaps point you in the right direction if you are interested in zoology. All right, so we will catch up to you next time.